Hi, everybody. Alana here. I just wanted to pop on and give you a little introduction to our breathwork, aka Breathplay, deep dive session. So, there's a plethora of things that can happen on a journey like this. So, I just want to go over all of them so that you're not scared or surprised if and when they happen. Also, that being said, just go into it with zero expectations and zero attachment to the outcome because every single breathwork journey can be completely different depending on where you're at, depending on what you're going through. So sometimes it can be very physical, sometimes it might be very emotional, sometimes it might be very mental. So just go in with zero attachment to the outcome. But I am going to go over a few things so that if they do happen, you can be prepared. Now, this is a deep dive breathwork journey. And one of the beautiful parts about breathwork is it's the only part of our autonomic nervous system that we can control with our mind, right? So we can't control our heartbeat, we can't control our digestion, we can't control our circulation, but we can control our breath. So in this way, it's a magical bridge between the conscious and the unconscious mind. And what happens here is every experience that we've experienced in life, we store as memory on a cellular level within our physical body, within our muscles, our bones, our tissues, our cells, our nervous system, right? So when we're tapping into that beautiful unconscious space, anything that needs to be released from the body could come up and out and through. So that could look like any of these things, right? On a physical level, it might be very extreme. You might feel really, really hot. You might feel really, really cold. You might be sweating but freezing, right? You might feel the tingles. You might get a little lightheaded. All of these things are totally normal. If you have an old injury, say you broke your arm when you were 4 and you like literally never even think about it anymore, but all of a sudden during the breath journey, that place in your arm starts to kind of pulse or throb. Know that this is just energy moving, right? We have energy flowing through our meridians, just like we have blood flowing through our veins. And anytime there's like a physical injury or an emotional injury, we're holding stress, we're holding tension, we're holding trauma somewhere in the body, those energy channels can get blocked or stuck. You know, like the knot in your shoulder is a blockage also in your energy. So when that energy starts to move, when the breath starts to move that energy through those stuck places, it can manifest in all different feeling all different ways in the physical body. Another phenomenon that might happen is something called tetany, where the hands or the feet or the face might make a shape and you physically it's like difficult to move out of that shape. So I just want to confirm and let you know that it's not going to get stuck like that forever. But in the moment, especially if you've never felt it before, it can feel really scary, like, oh my gosh, my hand's going to be stuck like this forever. And sometimes it can be rather crampy and uncomfortable. Just know that it's a totally normal thing to happen in a practice like this. It happens from hyperoxygenation, which is, again, it's just a phenomenon because we walk around in daily life using about 10% of our lung capacity. So when we start breathing deeply, these deep connected breaths, all of the sudden we're taking in a lot more oxygen than our body is used to. This has many, many health benefits, by the way. It cleanses the blood, it helps the circulation flow, it activates the healing mechanisms of our own physiology, and sometimes when our bodies are depleted of oxygen, a chemical reaction happens within the blood and we might have this phenomenon called tetany. Again, just know that it won't get stuck like that forever. If it does feel really intense, any physical sensation feels really intense. This goes for mental and emotional as well, right? If it ever does feel really intense, then I do recommend to slow down your exhale. You're still going to do a nice full connected breath, but the exhale, we're going to slow it down. So imagine I have the tetany in my hand. I take that nice deep inhale And then on the exhale, I make it as long and slow as possible. Imagine that I'm breathing to the edges of wherever it feels intense. Like literally right out my fingertips. So again, if the tetany is in the hand and it's feeling really intense, I take that nice full breath in and I breathe all the way to the edges of it, long and slow. Okay. So, on an emotional level, same thing. We can feel the full spectrum of emotions, right? We're human beings. We are here to have the full experience, not just the good emotions, but yes, also the challenging ones. And sometimes, because we have to put on a smiley face and go about our day and exist out in the world, we stuff those emotions away. We just tuck them away, right? So in a practice like this, as we get deep into that unconscious mind, the emotions might want to come up out and through. So that might look like hysterically laughing. You might need to feel really angry and just do a big scream. You might feel really sad and just need to cry. And sometimes there could be a story or a memory attached to these big emotions coming out. And sometimes they just come out. It's just like crying to cry that you never let yourself have whenever, right? So again, don't think too much on it. Don't do too much meaning making about it. But if some big emotions want to come up and out and through, let them, right? Give yourself permission to fully feel the feelings. Now, one thing that's really important here is that as they're coming up and out and through, they're really coming up and out and through to be released, to move out of the physical body, out of the nervous system, out of the cellular memory, right? They're not coming up to re-trigger or re-traumatize in any way. They are moving to be released. Okay. And this can happen, especially if you're prone to like anxiety or panic attacks. Like those emotions might be really just like underneath the surface. So sometimes people might feel like almost like they're gonna have a panic attack. Again, the name of the game here is just keep breathing. Like Dory says, just keep swimming. So even if you're starting to feel very anxious or those emotions are surfacing, you can slow down that out breath. Again, that's the long, slow exhale is our nervous system soothing breath. So if big emotions are coming through and they feel too intense, you just like make that exhale as long and slow as possible. Okay. And then we get to the mental body, right? The thoughts. So same thing. It can be the full spectrum, the full extreme from thinking, so much thinking, monkey mind thinking, to no thoughts at all, to stream of consciousness downloads, right? Always like when like people started getting woo woo and all of a sudden people are like, oh yeah, I got this download. I'm like, what's a download? I never got a download. What does that mean, right? But in breathwork, I have definitely experienced what feels like a download, like a stream of consciousness thoughts, new ideas, clarity about something or someone or whatever you've been trying to like work out mentally might come through. And there's a couple other tricks that the conscious mind sometimes wants to play on you during a practice like this. The first one, because remember, the conscious mind has tucked all this stuff away in the unconscious to keep it locked up, keep it safe. Let's keep it safe. Let's keep on going. Let's keep moving, right? It's very functional, the conscious mind. So when we start to go deep, when you start to go into that deep place where that's where all the magic happens too, right? But that's when the conscious mind goes, oh, no, locked all of that away for a reason. So it'll play some tricks on you to try and snap you out of the practice. One of those tricks is sleepy. Fall asleep, right? You're just about to go deep and the conscious mind's like, no, fall asleep instead. So if at any point you feel sleepy, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, shake your body, move your body in some way and wake yourself back up. Come back to the practice. Again, we're just focusing on the in-breath and the out-breath. There's no pause. It just flows in and flows out just like the ocean wave, right? Bring that focus back to the in and the out, and the in and the out, right? The other trick that the mind likes to play on us, especially if this is like one of your habitual patterns, right, is resistance. This is dumb. This is stupid. Nothing's happening. I'm just lying here breathing. That person's over there having a big emotional release, and that person's seeing rainbows and sacred geometry, but I feel nothing. This is dumb. Like that resistance, right? And especially if you're one that likes to control things or like be in control, right? So notice if that resistance comes up. Again, it's just a sign that you're about to go really deep and tap into that good stuff, that good sweet spot where all the magic happens. Also, so if you feel the resistance, just keep breathing. Breathe through it. Breathe with it. Hey, resistance, I see you and I'm breathing you out. Oh, there you are again, breathing you out, coming back to my inhale and my exhale. That's it, right? Don't overthink it. Give yourself permission. And also know if you do hit that resistance wall, that actually the good stuff is like right around the corner. Okay. I had one of my clients, she always explains it like you're on like a bumpy airplane and you're getting to turbulence and it's really uncomfortable. You're like, the turbulence is really uncomfortable. I want to like jump out of my seat, jump out of my skin. But if you just keep breathing and ride that wave through that turbulence on the other side of those clouds, you guys, rainbow sunset, magical sky. Right? So give yourself permission to like notice it, see it, and also breathe through it, right? Physical, mental, emotional. Okay. A couple other things I want to give you permission to do is really trust your intuition with it. Like if you want to, we're going to be lying down. Most of the practice that I teach, you're lying on your back. But if you need to move your body in any way, you're feeling called to just wiggle your elbow like this. Who cares? Wiggle your elbow like that. Just do those things that your intuition is telling you to do. Same thing with sounds, right? The breath that we do is in and out the mouth. It's like, right? Like, aha. But if you want to or you want to ooh, or you want to you want to scream or just whatever sounds want to come out, the tones that you intuitively make are the vibration and the frequency that your physiology needs to heal itself, right? It's calling on that tone, that frequency. So just trust if you want to do a long ooh, ee, like give yourself permission to make sound, right? I think in our society, it's very like put on a happy face, be a cool, calm, collected person. And we're not allowed to just like emote and, make these natural animalistic sounds that sometimes we want or need to make, right? So give yourself permission to make sound. And yeah, if you're in an apartment or you don't want to wake up your neighbors, feel free to like scream into a pillow. Right? Like that muffles it. Nobody next door is going to hear you if you scream into your pillow. But give yourself permission to move your body in whatever way it's asking for and make whatever sounds want to come up and out and through. Okay? Get silly with it. Get super weird with it. Like we don't have to be these like perfect, cool, calm, collected people all the time. Like that's not realistic, right? And this is a chance to feel all the feelings. Allow yourself to go through all of whatever it is coming up for you, whether it's physical, mental, emotional. Breathe with it, breathe it out, let it go. One other thing I do want to mention is that there's this magical thing that happens. I mean, if you're doing a deep dive session with me, we're going to be breathing for at least a full hour, sometimes a bit longer. So this magical thing happens kind of, midway to halfway through where the breath starts breathing you. Right? All of a sudden, like it just takes a life of its own and does its own thing. And when that happens, it's a really actually kind of fun sensation. So just surrender to the process, let it go where it needs to go, let it do what it needs to do. But for example, if all of a sudden your breath wants to breathe fast, it might look like this. Ha, 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 right? If maybe you want to do really long, slow exhales and the tones start coming out like, let yourself do that, right? Whatever comes up and out and through, just trust it. Trust the process. Be really allowing whatever the experience is, because every single journey is so different, you guys. And if you just keep breathing and you can breathe with it, breathe through it, on the end there is that rainbow sunset, sacred geometry, beautiful sky, right? Those beautiful, sometimes the visuals come through, right? It could be very visual if you're not a visual meditator, right? I'm a very body person, but through breath work, I have gotten these really clear, really vivid, beautiful visuals. You might hear messages. Like, don't be scared by any of that. That is all normal things that may or may not happen. Also, like I said at the beginning, zero attachment. Just be present with the process. Just keep breathing. There's no way to do it right or wrong. As long as you're breathing, you're doing it right. Okay. I can't wait to journey with you. I can't wait to see you on the other side. Feel free to ask me any questions in the comments. And looking forward to our chakra breathing breath play journey. Mwah.